Morning student. This video is prepared to help class 11th and 12th computer science student who is studying in CBSE affiliated school. This video is prepared on the topic that is file handling. What do you mean by file handling? File is a document or the data stored on permanent storage which can be read, write or rewritten according to our programs. When we write our programs, then in our program there is a situation such as when we create a variable in a program, then values are discarded when we terminate or close our program. There are no any mechanisms to store the data which are available in variable when our program finishes. That creates a problem, and for that problem uh, we resolve this problem with the help of file handling. In a file handling, all files are assigned a name for identification purpose by the operating system and the user. File input output means transfer of data from secondary memory, that is hard disk, to main memory, that is RAM, or vice versa. In a file handling, data are being fluctuated between RAM and secondary storage, or vice versa, may be happened during our program. I have already informed you that data used in variable is temporary in nature, because when program finishes it will be lost. Hence, to solve that problem, we can store the result of the program. We can store the result of the program in a file, so that files can be used for future reference. When data is stored in file, it may be used for future reference. That are the major benefit. That's why we are using file handling to store data. In order to save our data on secondary storage device, we use files. Data maintained inside the file is termed as persistent data. Means persistent data means it is permanent in nature. Hence, file is a stream of bytes comprising of data of your choice. Means it's up to programmer. Programmer used data to store in a file. File are basically of three types: text file, binary file and CSV file. Computer store data in a 0 and 1 form, that is known as machine language, because working of computer is a machine language. Computer works on 0 and 1, that is binary language. And in a text file, data is in a form of human readable. Human can read ABCD, and machine language have 0 and 1. Hence, there are several translations at the end of line. There are several translations performed during read operation as well as write operation at the end of line. Every file is basically a series of bytes stored inside a file. Python allows us to create and manage these three types of files, that is text file, binary file and CSV file. Text file. Now we are going to discuss about text file. Text file stores information in the form of ASCII or Unicode characters. ASCII is an American standard code for information and interchange, and Unicode are universally acceptable code. Default character coding in Python is the ASCII code. It consists of a sequence of lines. Each line is terminated by a special character known as end of line. By default, end of line. By default, end of line is a new line character. By default, end of file is the new line character. Its default character encoding is ASCII. In a text file, some translation takes place when this EOL character is read or written. When when some characters are read or written, either read operation or write operation, then this translation takes place. Text files are stored as a sequence of bytes in human readable form. Now binary file. Binary file is used to store data in a binary form, that is a 0 and 1 form. In binary file, there is no delimiter for a line. In a text file, delimiter is /n, that is by default. Hence, in no character translation can take place on binary file. Its result, binary file are much more faster as comparison to text file. CSV file. CSV is a human readable format just like a text file, which is extensively used to store tabular data in a spreadsheet. Text file does not store tabular data, but in case of CSV file, you can store tabular data that may be in a form of row and in a form of column, just like a spreadsheet. A CSV stores tabular data in a plain text. CSV stands for comma separated values. CSV is a delimited text file that uses a comma to separate values. Usually in a text file, delimiter is /n, that is new line character. In binary file, there is no any delimiter, and in CSV file there is a delimiter comma, that is by default. Each line in a file is known as data or record. Advantages of CSV file. CSV is faster to handle large amount of data. CSV is smaller in sizes. CSV is easy to generate and import in spreadsheets. CSV is human readable and easy to edit, that is like a text file. CSV is processed by all existing applications. All the existing applications can easily accept CSV file, easily transfer data within a CSV file. That's why CSV files are more important as comparison to our application. Now this is a program. That program writes 3 statements in your file. This is our first program. It will write all lines in a text file. It has 2 parts. First one is the file name and second one is the file mode. The F is the file reference, and open is a method. Open function accepts 2 arguments. First argument is the file name with location and second argument is the file mode. File mode tells the file will be opened in which mode or what operations are going to be performed that are defined in a file opening mode. Open is the function and F is the file object. We can use write method to write data in a file with the help of file object, and file object contains 2 things, file name and file mode. File name have 2 different things, that is file location and file name. If your program file is on the same place where your text file is being stored, then it is okay. If your program file and your text file that you are going to read are in a different location, then you have to pass the location component also. Here we are try to write data in a D drive, and the file is kvs.txt. Hence when we run our program, try to open kvs.txt file in D drive. This is our first statement, this is our second statement, and this is our third statement. First, second, third statement, and this is the message, my second message, third message that are going to be stored. When all these statement, when all these statement are used, when all these statement are used, when first, second and third statement are used, then data written successfully is printed. And when you see that message, data written successfully, then you will understand that all the three file operation, first, second and third, is successfully executed in your program. This is the output stored in your kvs.txt file. kvs.txt file. Here is the kvs is the file name. Hence, when you see this output, we are a student of class 12 in year 2023-24 writing into a text file are displayed in a single line because we are not put slash n, that is line separator. Hence all the three write statement writes data in a single line. Here is another program